Today on Inquirer. Muntinlupa Court acquits former Senator Leila de Lima of involvement in the illegal drug trade. Supporters of de Lima welcome court decision but lament its delay. Department of Health records 3 additional cases of the COVID-19 Omicron subvariant Arcturus. Department of Foreign Affairs working on a solution after the Kuwaiti government suspended the issuance of new visas to Filipinos. And Samahang Basketball ng Pilipinas Chairman Emeritus Manny V. Pangilinan calls Gilas Pilipinas' performance in its loss to Cambodia disgraceful. Good afternoon. Leila de Lima secures her second victory as a Muntinlupa court acquits the former senator of involvement in the illegal drug trade. Chot Reyes has the report.
This is the beginning of my vindication.
Leila de Lima secured her second victory on Friday as Muntinlupa City Regional Trial Court Branch 204 acquitted the former senator of involvement in the illegal drug trade. Judge Joseph Abraham Alcantara found no reason to convict de Lima and her former aide, Ronnie Dayan, who were both accused of conspiracy to commit illegal drug trading in the New Bilibid prison while she was Justice Secretary. Based on court records, de Lima and Dayan were accused of conspiracy to commit illegal drug trading as the former Justice Chief allegedly received a total of 10 million from former Bureau of Corrections officer in charge, Rafael Ragos, to supposedly fund her 2016 senatorial bid. The money purportedly came from high-profile Bilibid inmates. Ragos was initially named as a co-accused of de Lima in this drug case, but he was later declared a witness for the government against the former senator. However, in 2022, Ragos disowned his testimony, saying he was only coerced to pin de Lima for the supposed wrongdoing. Recantation, according to the court, are viewed with suspicion and reservation because oftentimes witnesses can be intimidated to withdraw their previous testimonies. The rare exception, the court said, is if there is no evidence sustaining the judgment of conviction other than the testimony of the recanting witness. As in this case, without Ragos, there is no quote-unquote crucial link, as the court said, that would establish the fact that de Lima conspired with inmates in its illegal drug trade. The former senator said all who joined her in fighting for justice prevailed despite efforts to crush and silence them. She said she may have won today, but her fight continues. De Lima has now won 2 of 3 drug cases filed against her during the administration of her nemesis, former President Rodrigo Duterte. She has been in detention since February 2017 and had repeatedly denied the drug charges, which she branded as fictional. This is Chot Reyes reporting for INQUIRER.net.
All right, now to talk more about the decision of former Senator Leila de Lima's case, joining us live is lawyer Tony Lavinia, president of the Movement Against Disinformation. Good afternoon, sir. Welcome to the program. I know you were there with former Senator Leila de Lima earlier. I guess to start things off, walk us through what it was like when the decision was handed down.
It was very solemn. In fact, the judge had earlier told us, those of us in the rooms, mostly the lawyers on both sides, the prosecutors and defense lawyers, and a few friends of Senator de Lima, that to remind us to be, to treat with dignity, to act with dignity as the decision was read. Immediately, we went to this dispositive portion. The prosecutors and the defense lawyers agreed that we just want to know the result. And there's a palpable sense of relief. There was clapping, mild clapping under the circumstances. That's not supposed to be allowed, but obviously something like that needed some release. I could see Senator de Lima silently praying. Thank God, thank God. And all of us who are her defense lawyers, we are a collaborating counsel. We're not the lead counsels, but lead counsels really did a good job here. We are obviously happy with the result. In my mind, though, I also have that question of, she's just been acquitted, but why did she stay in jail for 6 years? So I'm
Mm-hmm.
happy for the result. Uh, but I have to ask that question: why did we put an innocent person to jail for 6 years?
Mm-hmm. Right. Sir, just diving in a little bit more on this latest acquittal, is it immediately executory? I mean, can this verdict be appealed? Because earlier, Justice Secretary Boying Remulla had said that the remedies are very limited once an acquittal is reached. Can you tell us more about this?
As a general rule, you do not appeal a conviction. Sorry, you do not appeal an acquittal unless the judge is so irrational, so unfair. That happened in the case of Galman versus Aquino, or Aquino,
Mm-hmm.
the Galman case involving the Aquino assassination, where it was seen like there was no real trial. It was a sham trial. And so the
Mm-hmm.
Supreme Court reversed that and said you have to do the trial all over again. Here, the judge, Judge Alcantara, was very good throughout the whole process. Very solid legal thinking, very fair. He praised, in fact, everyone at the end. So there is no appeal here. And when the decision was made, the court actually ordered the release of De Lima unless something prevented it from being released. So right now, there's one more case. Once that's decided, the bail that's actually already subject of bail decision. Once that's done, then Senator De Lima will be released, and I think more or less it's all over after that.
Mm-hmm. Now, I want to take that part where you mentioned there is still a pending case. Two of the three drug cases have been dismissed, but there's still one pending case. What now is the impact of the dismissal of these two cases in her pending case before a Muntinlupa court?
I can't really comment on the merits of the last case because I'm also collaborating counsel there, and that would make me violate the sub judice rule. All that I can say is that these cases are distinct from each other, but they're also related to each other. They could have been tried in one case, but the government chose to try it in different ways because they wanted Senator De Lima to stay longer in detention. This is the Duterte administration. So far, we've seen the Marcos administration doesn't seem to have an interest either way in keeping De Lima in prison. So obviously, we're grateful for that. But this is an acquittal on the merits, and hopefully that's what will happen also in the third case.
Mm-hmm. And you also mentioned the bail petition of former Senator De Lima. The court decision for this was deferred Monday. Do we have a timeline now on when the ruling will come out for her bid for temporary freedom?
I wouldn't know honestly, but soon. I I won't be surprised if it comes out next week.
Mm-hmm. So next week, we're hoping that it comes out. Thank you so much for joining us for this very brief interview. Once again, that's lawyer Tony Lavinia, president of the Movement Against Disinformation. While the supporters of former Senator Leila de Lima welcomed the decision to acquit her of her drug case, some are disappointed at how long it took for de Lima to be acquitted. Former Senator Kiko Pangilinan says their camp had always believed in de Lima's innocence for the past 6 years, adding that all pieces of evidence are fabricated. Chiljokno, who ran for senator alongside de Lima, says he rejoiced over the decision, but also laments the legal process that took a long time. Sonny Trillanes, another former senator who ran with de Lima, says he believes de Lima's freedom is within reach. Meanwhile, Albay Representative Edsel Lagban asks that de Lima be freed on bail for her remaining case. Alliance of Concerned Teachers Party List Representative Franz Castro hopes to see De Lima vindicated from all of her cases. To recall, De Lima has been imprisoned since 2017, with 3 drug cases filed against her during the administration of former President Rodrigo Duterte. Again, out of the 3 cases, 2 have now been dismissed. The Department of Foreign Affairs says the Philippines is finding a mutually satisfactory solution to the Kuwaiti government's decision to suspend the issuance of new visas to Filipinos. In a statement, the DFA officially confirms earlier media reports on the matter. The DFA also maintains that the Philippines is firm in its commitment to discuss and resolve bilateral ties with all countries in an amicable manner. DFA Undersecretary Eduardo de Vega earlier told INQUIRER.net that Kuwait's Ministry of Interior had cited the Philippines' supposed failure to comply with the 2 countries' labor agreement in the Gulf states' decision to suspend the issuance of new visas to Filipinos. The suspension of Kuwait's issuance of new entry visas for Philippine nationals comes months after Manila imposed a ban on the deployment of first-time domestic helpers to the Middle Eastern country. The Department of Migrant Workers enforced the ban following the gruesome killing of overseas Filipino worker Julie Biranara, reportedly at the hands of her Kuwaiti employer. Next on Inquirer Today. The Department of Health records 3 additional cases of the COVID-19 Omicron subvariant Arcturus. Australian Foreign Minister to visit the Philippines next week. And Samahang Basketball ng Pilipinas Chairman Emeritus Manny V. Pangilinan calls Gilas Pilipinas' performance in its loss to Cambodia disgraceful. This is Inquirer Today. We'll be back shortly.
In a sari-sari store in Cebu City, a test paper is all you need to grab a snack. But not just any test paper could pass. A perfect score is required.
Ako po si Libby Gedoria, 56 years old, isang vendor.
Nanay Livy isn't just a mother at home, but also to the rest of her Suki students who frequent her store.
Makita ko na yun sa mga bata mamba nga na grabe ang ano nila sa akin, yung mga greetings nila every morning, na pagdating ko lang, good morning, Nay. Yeah. Mag-response naman ako, okay, karang mag-aral kayo ng mabuti ha, mag-ano kayo sa teacher nyo, lesson kayo sa lesson ninyo. So naisip ko, ano kaya kung gumimik ako kasi napalapit na sila sa akin. Inomotivate ko naman sila araw-araw na mag-aral. Naisipan ko na first nga makadala ng test paper for perfect score, bigyan ko ng snack. Pag-exam nila nung 19 and 20, inabihan ano na kami ng karatula. Pag 24, nag-checking sila ma'am, sa takbuhan naman yung mga bata na nagdala-dala ng kanilang mga test paper na nakakuha ng perfect scores. Yung isang test paper, magpili lang sila. Kung turon lang yung ang sa kanya, makuha niya. Kung mag-ano siya ng juice, meron siyang kasamang nudlan or pulot. Hindi ko naman iniisip yung malugi ako ma'am kasi yung makatulong tayo sa kapwa. Magpasalamatan naman yun sa iba kung makatulong tayo sa kanila. Minsan merong magsabi na, nanay, pautang naman, bukas ko na lang bayaran. Wag na. Wag mo akong bayaran. Hadapin mo na lang ako kung magiging abogado ka na o magiging doktor ka na. Bayad mong 5 peso mo sa akin kung maabogado ka na.
Nanay Livy's act of kindness has captured the hearts of people online.
Yung content lang po talaga ng post ko is appreciation po for my mama. Kasi po, na-admire ko po talaga yung ginawa niya for students. Kasi as an education and aspiring teacher, talagang effective po siya for students. Sabi ko na si mama hindi siya teacher pero nagagawa niya yon. So posible pala na kahit hindi ka teacher, mamomotivate mo yung anak mo na estudyante, mamomotivate mo yung mga estudyante na kahit hindi mo anak.
After Giselle's post went viral, Nanay Livy has a new challenge to the students in her area.
Sa ngayon, ma'am, may tumutulong naman sa amin kahit konti. May dumating naman na tulong. So, may plano kami na mamigay na naman kasi distribution of cards and awardings of honor students. So, from 20, yung may challenge yung 20, ma'am, 20 students na perfect score. Pero ngayon, ito yung mga rewards sa may mga honors. So, magbigay kami ng 250 na honor students. Yun lang ang makaya sa budget, ma'am.
The Department of Health records 3 additional cases of the XBB.1.16 Omicron subvariant of COVID-19, more commonly known as Arcturus. This brings the total number of Arcturus cases in the country to 4. Based on the DOH's latest biosurveillance report, all 3 cases of the Arcturus subvariant were registered in Western Visayas, meaning all infections were locally transmitted. The DOH says the Arcturus subvariant is currently tagged by the World Health Organization as a variant of interest. It is a sublineage of the Omicron, which has the ability to evade immunity and is said to be more transmissible. The Health Department, however, assures the public that the current evidence for the Arcturus subvariant does not suggest any differences in disease severity and clinical manifestations compared to the original Omicron variant. The Department of Foreign Affairs announces that Australian Foreign Minister Penny Wong is set to visit the Philippines next week. According to the DFA, Wong will meet Philippine Foreign Affairs Secretary Enrique Manalo on May 18 to talk about a variety of issues of mutual interest, including defense and security, development, trade and investment, and people-to-people ties. She will be on an official visit to the Philippines from May 16 to 19. It will be Wong's first visit to the country since assuming office in May 2022 following the election of Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese. Wong will also pay a courtesy call on President Bongbong Marcos and Vice President Sara Duterte, but the date of which has not been disclosed by the DFA. The department further says Wong's visit comes after a string of high-level exchanges between the Philippines and Australia. Australia is among the countries the Philippines is eyeing to join forces with in conducting joint patrols in the West Philippine Sea. After the Philippines bowed to Cambodia in the Southeast Asian Games Thursday night, Samahang Basketball ng Pilipinas Chair Emeritus Manny V. Pangilinan calls Gilas Pilipinas loss disgraceful. On Twitter, Pangilinan did not mince his words when he chimed in on the Philippines' 79-68 defeat at the hands of a naturalized laden Cambodian side. Gilas Pilipinas was saddled by horrendous shooting and could hardly keep up in the battle for the boards. Not helping was Justin Brownlee's dehydration episode, which kept him from his do-it-all play that would have prompted a fight back a lot earlier. Meanwhile, Gilas Pilipinas coach Chot Reyes had very little to say about the shouting match between the Philippines and host Cambodia shortly after the game. Members of Gilas Pilipinas were seen confronting members of the opposing team and its head coach Harry Savaya towards the end of their match. Savaya made several taunts directed at the Gilas bench all game long, some of them seen live during the game streaming on YouTube. And on the antics of Cambodia's coach, Reyes says,
I just want to be very polite, you all know, you all saw what happened. It's not even coaching ethics, it's just ethics. It's just ethics, right? So, if he wants to, if the other coach wants to make a fool of himself, that's on him. It's not our problem. Also, what happened, I don't need to comment on that. His actions will speak a lot more than anything I can say.
At alamin naman natin ang mainit na balita sa mundo ng showbiz kasama si Pauline Del Rosario ng Bandera. Pauline?
Hello, Bay! At sa mga kabandera natin all over the universe. Heto ang latest chika. Usap-usapan ngayon sa social media ang mystery girl ng singer-songwriter na si Jason Hernandez. Sa Instagram story ng estranged husband ni Moira de la Torre, makikita ang di makilalang babae habang yakap-yakap si Jason na all out naman ang ngiti sa picture. Walang caption sa nasabing post, kaya naman ang netizens, todo hula kung sino ang mystery girl. May mga nagkomento pa nga na mukhang nagkabalikan na raw ang mag-asawa dahil ang feeling daw nila si Moira ang kasama ni Jason. Ngunit agad naman yan dinenay ng singer at sinagot sa comment section na hindi raw siya yung mystery girl. May 2022 nang kumpirmahin ng mag-asawang Moira at Jason ang kanilang paghihiwalay matapos ang 3 taong kasal. Sa isang joint statement, umamin si Jason na hindi siya naging faithful sa kanyang ex-wife. At yan, ang latest bandera chika natin for today. Thank you, Bay!
Maraming salamat, Pauline. And these are the stories you need to know today. I'm Beatrice Pinlac. Follow INQUIRER.net on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Reddit. For more stories, visit INQUIRER.net. Good evening.